it might be a hot take, it might not be. As a single season, whoever wins the Premier League title this year, for me, is better than the Centurions. Weekend. Sunday. Crystal Palace versus Man City. We were there, Ramone. And a pretty comfortable victory in the end for Man City. Fans confident that, obviously at the time, Liverpool hadn't played Chelsea yet, so there was some of them would say, you know, hope that Sarri's boys can do us a favour, blah, blah, blah. But it's in our hands. I'm just quoting Man City fans. It's in our hands. Confident we're going to win it. And some even went as far and as deluded as you two, saying they're going to win it all, quadruple, etc., etc. What do we make of the Man City performance, first and foremost? Because the last couple of games before that, Brighton and Tottenham, poor performances. Obviously got a win in one, lost the other. So what do we make of that Man City performance?
Well, all I've got to say is the, April the 15th, the quadruple is still on. Still on. Still on there. Like, they're on for it. Like, obviously, next week's podcast is going to be very, very key. Because double header against Spurs, and then we'll see if it's still on. But as we speak, it's still on. And you know what? Yeah, it wasn't their best performance against Spurs. I know we disagreed. It's partly in terms of the tactically of what Pep did with that.
We'll get onto
that. We'll get onto that. In terms of Sunday, job done for Pep. Really. I mean, they went to Crystal Palace. They went to Selhurst Park, and was Pep described it as the smallest changing rooms in the Premier League, and from one of the best. Going from Spurs, one of the best in the Premier League, to Selhurst Park, one of the worst in the Premier League, and come out there. It's a hostile stadium. Sometimes it's not easy to go there, and even though their former home ain't been great, but sometimes that crowd gets on top of you. It's not easy, but they handled it well. And then that man Raheem again, just saving Man City
after missing an absolute sitter.
Yeah,
and then bang, a brilliant finish.
He said 1 miss, 2 goals. What do you want? 1 miss, 2 goals, and 3 points.
3 goals is what we want.
And and he shows again how much of a key this man is to Man City, more challenging at the moment for this title. And so job done. Like I said, job done for Pep. They done what they needed to do.
Mr. Kyle?
I mean, it was just a routine win, man. Did anyone ever doubt them against Crystal Palace, man? Like, it's Crystal Palace. Like,
well, Crystal Palace beat them early in the season at the Etihad.
Yeah, that's fine. That wasn't crunch time. This is crunch time. Yeah, I actually fully expect them to win their remaining games in the Premier League, as I do Liverpool. Like, I expect both of them to go. What would it be? 97 and 98 points.
Yeah, 97, 98 points.
That's literally, that's what I expect now. Liverpool to finish on 97, Man City to finish on 98. And it will probably go down as the greatest Premier League title race in history.
Whoa.
No, it will.
It can't get better than 2012.
No.
Aguero for 94th minute.
Yes,
it can't be.
No.
Unless someone wins it in the 92nd minute again.
No.
It can't.
No.
It can't.
No. It will.
How do you beat that?
It will.
How do you possibly? We've had 2 Premier League title races, one on the last day of the season. I said 2 of my memory, 3 actually. Now that you think about it, obviously the Aguero one, 2012. Then there was Man United 08 against Chelsea. Chelsea, I think the goal difference, Man United goal was much higher, but. We were away to Wigan and Chelsea were home to Bolton. Chelsea drew in the end. And then there was Man United against versus Blackburn. Man United playing West Ham, Blackburn playing Liverpool. Blackburn lost, Man United drew West Ham. Now that was Blackburn's first Premier League title, underdog, etc. How does this one just become the greatest title race or whatever? Why?
Well, the 2012 one, the famous Aguero cool.
You'll never see this again.
And that's it.
So taste it, drink it in.
Doesn't matter that part, drink it in. But we'll never see it again. It's the point that my entire...
The lucky slip pass from Balotelli. Yep, I remember it all. No, the difference is that had like a magical moment on the last day, right? That one goal. But in terms of the first game week 1 to game week 38, on the whole, like this season is better.
All right,
this season.
I'll give you...
I'll tell you why.
I don't think you remember that season.
No, I do.
Go.
I do. And the chop and change that we've had, we had the season started out, and Man City led the pack from the first game week when they beat Arsenal. Was it 2-0?
2-1.
And was it 2-1?
Mm-hmm.
Sure it was 2-0.
It's 2-1.
No, it was 2-0.
It was 2-1. Carry on.
No, it was 2-0, Ramone, man.
I thought it was 2-0.
It was 2-0.
Carry on.
It was 2-0. But anyway, yeah, they beat Arsenal on the opening day, right? And they led for a good few weeks, might be 8-9 weeks. And then Liverpool got the lead. And then Liverpool managed to extend the lead to the point where they played Man City.
2-0.
Exactly. It was 2-0. I don't know where you got that goal.
Ghost goal.
Oh, it was away when we scored.
Wait, what's this going on? 3-1.
3-1.
Go on.
Yeah. And then Liverpool extended the lead. And then it all got to a point where we was like, oh my God, Man City are playing Liverpool had the Etihad. If Man City get anything other than a victory here, a draw or loss, I said the title race is done. That match was literally, everyone was on eggshells because they took the lead, Liverpool equalised, and then Sane got the winner, as it was. 2-1, everyone was like, title race back on. Now Man City got the lead back, but Man City are juggling first and second because of this game in hand. So they were top, then playing in the FA Cup, dropped down to second, and then they're playing on Saturday, Liverpool playing on Sunday, they're jumping back and so forth, first and second. And the amount of points that both teams have amassed, and the fact that Liverpool have only lost one game all season, which is to Man City, defending champions, right? Nah, man, I don't think I've seen anything more exciting.
All right,
as a whole season, and if both of them end up winning all of their games, like I said, so it ends on 97 points and 98 points, it will come down to the last day of the season. So it will be won on the last day, and who knows what will happen? You might have a magical moment on the last day.
Well, listen, let me give you something, because that 2012 season, 2011-12, remember, this is the year Man United thumped Arsenal 8-2. It was all happening. We had these two teams at the top who were just like, goals. So
Man City thumped Huddersfield.
Wait. We thumped Arsenal 8-2. And on the same day, Man City thumped Tottenham 5-1. So you remember it was like 13-2 Manchester versus London, North London, whatever. A few months later, Man City came to Old Trafford and thumped Man United 6-1.
I remember.
Remember, these are Man United defending champions as well. So, and this is their nosy neighbours, their rivals, new on the block. Remember, they haven't won a Premier League title either. Season going on, obviously. I think, if I'm correct, both teams got knocked out of the Champions League. Both went to Europa League. Then, season going on. Man City's clear. The Man City's in front. Javerne over there makes a bold statement. Says, I would eat my hat if Manchester City do not win this Premier League.
United were ahead.
No. You said it when Man City were ahead.
No, I said when United.
No,
I did.
I'll find it on Facebook later. But I'm pretty sure when Man City were ahead, you said I'll eat my hat if Man City. I'll check it anyway. and Man United then went 8 points clear. Man City, Tevez kicked off, said he's not coming off the bench against Bayern Munich in the Champions League. I think it was, yeah. And then they did a Kepa, the opposite. And it was all going wrong. I think Mancini started fighting with Balotelli. It was just all... And Man United were just surging. Man United went 8 points clear. Title's done. Title race is finished in
had to be devoured.
April. Listen, I had prepared the hat. There was mustard. There was a side of halloumi. Listen, I was ready to wait for Javan to come up and just eat the hat.
No, because I said that gap. That's why I said this. I said, Man City are winning it. This gap is there.
I don't believe that, Japan. But I will check it.
I'm pretty sure when Man City was.
I'm sure it must have been, because no one can be certain that 8 points clear. That man.
I promise you, that's what I said.
Listen,
I know.
I'll try and find it on the Facebook later. But the bottom line is that Man United were 8 points ahead. Title race was done. It was actually finished.
But
at
it
that
wasn't,
point.
because mathematically it wasn't over.
Because it was the greatest title race of all time. That's why it wasn't over. What happened? Man United 4-2 up at home to Everton. Fellaini, Pina, 4-4. At that moment,
Brilliant.
it was at that moment that the title race started turning. Man City, no pressure. I think they won at Norwich and they won Tevez, came back in the team, revived man, and they started just picking up points, with no pressure. Going back, remember the Why Always Me? That was a Balotelli meme as well. The Man United went to Wigan, who were like relegation threatened Wigan. Sean Maloney, I think it was 1-0. You lose away at Wigan. How do you lose to Wigan? You weren't going for a title. They're down in relegation, lose to Wigan.
Happens, isn't it?
So now it goes down to the Manchester derby. This is the game. If Man United draw, it's still in their hands. If Man City win, it's in their hands. But it's only in their hands on goal difference. Big Vincent with that big bald head of him, rises at the corner, boom, 1-0. Man United went there playing for a draw. I think we went 4-5-1, Park and all those kind of players there. And Berbatov started as well. We just went in it. And Man City won that game. In their hands now. So it's like, alright, it's like Man City gonna win now. I think they both won the next couple games, last day of the season. Man United away at Sunderland. I think Rooney scored 1-0, game finished. Some players were like, what's going on? What's going on at the Etihad? Is it done? Is it over? At this time, Man City's gone 1-0 up, 1-0 up. I think they went to 1-1. Barton sent off. Then it went to 2-1 to QPR. And it's like, all right, but they've got a lot of time to come back. Gang going. Man City ain't done nothing. Man City ain't doing nothing. Man United still holding now 1-0. 90th minute, corner, Dzeko rises, 2-2. Man City is on the touchline, pumping to. But cool, there's still four minutes left. But game's still going. Man City can't get it. Man United game's done. At that moment, Phil Jones takes off his shirt. Man starts semi-celebrating at Sunderland. I think he must have got some word that the game is finished. What happens? Ball comes through to Balotelli, Aguero, near post, Paddy Kenny. Can't do nothing about it. And as Martin Tyler said, you never see him like this again. Now, you got two teams in the same city going over the Premier League, and it ends in that way. I can't see how a Man City Liverpool even replicates that, Kyle. How? In Man City Liverpool, where's the rivalry? Who even cares about these two?
It's not about rivalry. Just about.
But that all adds to it.
You're saying Man United was 8 points clear at one point. Liverpool was 7 points clear at one point.
God, we were 8 points clear with 5 games to go. It was 5. You couldn't lose it from there. You can't lose it from there. And this is Manchester United, who have won. At that point, what was that, 2012? So since then we've won. Those were like 17 titles at the time. In the Premier League era, we won from 92 right through to up until 2013. How many titles? Somehow Man City went and did it. Unless this one goes literally like that kind of moment, then it can rival. But even then, it's the derby in the same city, the noisy neighbours. I can't see. I can't see how it is. But let us know, innit? Do you think that this title race, if it goes to the last day, or even if it doesn't, I don't know. If it goes to the last day,
do you remember where you was when that goal went in?
I do remember. I was.
Do you remember how it went down?
I do. But we don't speak about that moment and what I was doing at that moment because it was very, very painful. But anyway, I got a question though, because first podcast we did, obviously, you always said that Arsenal are the best, greatest Premier League team of all time, the unbeaten side. You said this Man City time, or the Centurions, whatever. And Yannicka, who's also on the podcast, she said Man City, of course, and of course I did. Of course I didn't. I think I said Man United. Well, I said okay. I said choose, pick one.
Yep.
2001, 99, 2008, whichever you want. But anyway, it might be a hot take. It might not be. As a single season, whoever wins the Premier League title this year, for me, is better than the Centurions.
No. Wait, that doesn't even make any sense because this Man City.
I said as a single season, take it in isolation. Because the same way we can look
it's
at...
the same team. This Man City team is the same team.
Well, it's got Mahrez as well. But take it in isolation. Is this team, this season, better than... And I'm saying whoever wins it, whether it's Liverpool or Man City...
Why do you say that?
Well, because, and I've said it before, 100 points is a stat. Cool.
Yeah.
But that's what it is, 100 points. It's maybe 5 more than Conte got. You know, maybe 6 more than Jose got. I haven't got it in front of me. 8 more than Man United got in 2001. But we don't then say, all right, that's 100 points, that's the best. Then we say Conte's the second best, Mourinho's the third best. It's just a stat. They got more points than anyone else. Cool. But the reason why I say this one's better, because look at the team who's in second. Whoever finishes second is going to finish in high 90s. So the pressure that the champion, whoever it is in the end, is having to deal with is that much greater. And equally, that pressure's probably been going on, I would say, from about December, properly, from about this early December right through to now. Where, no, that's not, I wouldn't say early December. No, let's say January. At that point, it's like, after that Man City game, it was like, you got to keep up with the other person. You can't afford to drop points. You can't. And of course, Liverpool have dropped a point. A game against West Ham and less than Man City have dropped a point against Newcastle. I think that was the only one, I can't remember now. But for Man City's won like 10 Premier League games in a row. Liverpool's probably won like 5, 6, 7 in a row, something like that. Now, that kind of pressure you're dealing with, and you still end up on 98 points or 97 points, which is just 1 win less than the Centurions, who they had no one to fight from about December. They were like 16 points clear of Man United after the derby, and it was like, well, just plain sailing. All they were doing is fighting against themselves in terms of, let's keep up the momentum, guys. I know the title's won,
which is harder. No motivation, no push.
No, but it is a motivation because obviously it's a different motivation, but there's no pressure. You can go and play your football. If you don't win, you don't win. You lost in the derby against us, title's still going to be theirs. You don't win, you don't win. This one, you cannot afford to lose. And so I think, even if they finish, if the champion is 2 points, 3 points, or even miraculously, if they end up 5 points behind 100, I will still say this championship win, this Premier League win, is a greater achievement than the Centurions.
Okay, so if Man City win it,
if Man City this season,
I was going to say, because I'm sure, didn't you say at first as the great team?
Well,
because that's 2 different things. A great team, great achievement. Because
okay, well, if we're talking about who's the best Premier League team of all time, we're talking about what they've done in that season. More than, I don't know. Like we don't do like a combined 11. Oh, that person will get in there. We're talking about what that team did in that season. And I'm saying what this team, whoever wins it, does in this season, for me, is better than getting 100 points in a season where you have 19 points.
If it's Man City, will you say, well, they did that last season and this season with the pressure that Liverpool put on them, I would say, would you consider them as one of the great Premier League sides of all time?
Well, I mean, there's 2 different questions. Cool, because that's not exactly. I'm saying if they win the league this year,
no, I know,
they're
but I'm saying
better than they did last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
of course, if you put it together, of course, you put it together, of course, they're like, I'll say, definitely top 3. 100. That would be like 198 points in 2 seasons if they win the title. Of course, you can't. I mean, that Centurion team is already up there. But I'm saying it's outside of the points tally. Points tally is one thing. Like, anyone can, not anyone can, but let's say you get 98 points, you get 95 points. What does it actually mean in the end? What does it actually mean? 19 points cleared of the opposition? I don't know. That's just I think that, yeah. So if Liverpool win it, I'm saying that this Liverpool team is better or done better or whatever you want to word it than.
Okay, so that means you must be saying they're up as one of the greatest women's side of all time then.
Well, they'll be up there with the Centurions, yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Who I don't think is the best, by the way.
No, obviously I know that.
Oh, yeah.
I know that. Okay.
I think it's a greater achievement, but I still wouldn't put. It's weird because I'll probably say it's a great achievement, but I'll still, if Liverpool win the league this year, I wouldn't say they're a better team than Manchester City or last year. But I'll say it's a greater achievement.
Why? Why wouldn't you say it's a better team?
Because with the style of football that Pep played with Man City and the way they were dismantling teams left, right, and centre, whereas this season Liverpool, yeah, they've done very well in very games and won games when they needed to win games, but have also, you know, they let points slip, slipped up quite a lot of places in other league in stuff that Pep was rarely doing over the course of the season. Obviously, a few.
I mean,
here
Liverpool's only lost one game this year.
Yeah,
and it was actually around the same time
Yeah,
when
but-
Man City lost their first game last season in January
yeah, but
to Liverpool, incidentally.
it's more than
So was
just it's more than just losses. When they played against Man United, I just feel like they didn't want to go for the win. When they played against Everton, it was like Liverpool.
Okay.
Liverpool against Man United this year at Old Trafford. It's like they didn't want to go for the win. They were happy to sit with a draw, even though Man United's players are falling left, right, and centre against Everton. I just felt like it was like they didn't want, like they didn't. Maybe they didn't have to. Maybe if they win the league, look at it and say we didn't have to. But there were so many times of the season, even Chelsea, they got last minute goal. And I don't think they were great. I think there are so many games where they were poor to average compared to the Man City team, who just.
But then I would argue that that Man City team, the teams that they were fighting against, and when I say fighting against, even just playing against, weren't as good in terms of. Liverpool last year ain't as good as Liverpool this year. So that's one team that's better than that the Centurions had to play against.
Wolves weren't there.
Granted, Man United are worse this year than they were last year. Yeah, obviously Wolves weren't there. Chelsea, I mean, I guess they're probably about the same. Arsenal,
I mean, it kind of works both ways. But some teams are worse. Like,
but in Liverpool,
Burnley was sick last year. But
then Liverpool are competing against the Centurions of Man City, whereas Man City's defending champion at the time was what, Chelsea?
Chelsea.
Who finished 6th?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm like, who were they competing against? Man United finished 2nd, finished 6th the year before.
But that's what I'm saying. I think it's a greater achievement, but I just don't think they're a greater team overall. With what you're saying, I'm sitting there saying, yeah, you're right, because that's what I'm saying. It's a greater achievement, but I don't think the team is as good as last year's team, even though the achievement is greater. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah. Like you might say Porto win the Champions League, great achievement than Real Madrid, but Real Madrid's team is
much better.
team.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Fair enough.